What's going on, guys? Today I want to give you a step-by-step process on installing a short throw shifter on your E46, E36, or particularly anything from an 85 to a 2010. The shifter we're looking at installing today is a Bull Boost performance shifter. I picked this up off of their website for about 42 bucks. It is excellent quality, has a great weight to it, and was pretty easy to install other than a few things here and there, but that's where I'm going to help you. Now, a few things to keep in mind if you are looking at installing this the way I did, which I left the drive shaft and the exhaust on. It can get a little tricky. It gets a little tight in some spots. You just have to have a little bit of time and a little bit of patience, and you can get through it. So let's start the process. So for this process, I've already installed it on my car, and I don't have access to a jack and jack stands to actually give you a full perspective on how to install it. So I'm gonna go by pictures and explain everything throughout that. The first step to installing a short throw shifter is take your shift knob off, which the shift knob is usually just a twist and pull. Sometimes you have to apply a little bit of heat to release the glue on the factory shifter. Once you have done that, remove your shifter boot, which is just held in by a couple clips. Pop that out and take it out. Once your shifter boot has been removed, it should look a little something like this. At the base of the shifter, closest to your cup holders in the center of your center console, you will see two Phillips screws. Remove both of these two screws and then apply a little bit of upward force on your trim. Make sure you be careful depending on the age of your car, it can be brittle. Once you have popped the trim loose underneath, there will be two connections for your window switches. Remove those and the whole trim will come out. Once you have the whole trim removed, you will see the insulator at the bottom along with the shifter by itself. Remove this boot, which might take a little bit of force as it is tucked underneath a lip underneath the car. So just pull up on it around the corners and it'll eventually pop free. Once you have the insulator removed, you will be moving on underneath the car. Once underneath the car, you will want to find the shifter linkage, which is attached to the actual shifter itself. There is a pin attached to the shifter linkage with a C-clip on the end of it. Remove the C-clip, pop the shifter linkage out of the shifter. From there, you will go back up to the top of the vehicle to remove the shifter. Once you are back in the car and looking at the shifter from the top perspective, you will see a little plastic grommet with the shifter slid inside of it. From here, you will take a little flathead and in between any of the crevices, apply a little bit of twisting force, and pull up on the shifter, and the plastic grommet and shifter should pop out, leaving just the bracket underneath the car. From here, you will be going back underneath the car to remove the shifter bracket for this particular shifter. Now, depending on the shifter you have will determine on what you do with that bracket. Some shifters still require the factory shifter bracket, where the Bull Boost Performance shifter is a chassis mount shifter where it has a plate on the top and bottom to secure it to the car. Once you are underneath the car and have the shifter out, you will go to the back of the shifter bracket closest to the shifter and use a flathead screwdriver in between the crevices of the grommet and pop that loose. That frees up the back end of the shifter bracket. From there, you will move to the front of the shifter bracket on top of the transmission. Once you are at the top of the transmission, there is a little L-shaped clip that is attached to the top of the transmission. All you have to do to free this up is to take a flathead screwdriver and pop in the up direction to pop the clip above the transmission. Once that is free, there is a little guide pin that slides through the bracket. You will take a pick or a screwdriver and push the pin out of the direction the clip is on. Once the clip and pin are removed, the shifter bracket comes out. Once the clip and pin are free, the shifter bracket can be removed. This is a quick diagram on what everything looks like underneath the car. So the top portion right here is going to be your shifter bracket. This is going to be your shifter linkage, and right here is your actual shifter with insulator on the top. At the very base, as I stated, you have the shifter linkage with a C-clip on the end. Removing the C-clip removes the shifter linkage, and then also at the front of the transmission, you will have the L-shaped clip with the pin attached to it. At the back, it is a grommet snapped into place with two clips. Once you have everything removed and you are ready to install the new shifter, if you are working with a Bull Boost Performance shifter or something similar, you will need to take 4 bolts to release the bottom plate. Once the bottom plate is released, you will set the new shifter in, slide the bolts through, climb underneath the car, and install the bottom plate with the nuts. Tighten everything down, make sure it's all secure. And then from there, you will take your shifter linkage and slide it through the new shifter and reinstall the new C-clip. Once your shifter is secured and the linkage is reinstalled and the C-clip is installed, you reassemble from the beginning. You install the trim around the shifter, reapply your connectors, snap the trim back into place, and then reinstall the 2 Phillips screws. From there, you will reinstall the boot and then install your new shift knob. And congratulations, you now have a short throw shifter in your E36, E46, or anything from an 85 to a 2010. If you have any further questions, drop them down in the comments below. I'd love to help anybody that I can, and I look forward to doing many more series like this. If you want to pick up this particular shifter, head over to bullboostperformance.com and just search up BMW particular and look up short throw shifters, and you will find it. It is like 42 bucks, and like I stated, it is phenomenal quality. Yeah, guys, that wraps up this video. I appreciate you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like, and if you're not already, smash that subscribe button. I will catch you guys on the next one. Y'all stay sideways.